Facebook.
Following program are pre-recorded.
Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270.
And our in-studio guest today is none other than my wife, Alice Anderson. Hey, baby, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
It's a new year. Everything's good.
Yeah, it is good. And I thought, I'm probably not the most frugal person in the world. Because I'm always the person who runs out and buys something the first, especially technology, right? I'm out there buying stuff before it goes on sale or whatever because I just want to use it right away. You, on the other hand, like to shop deals and that type of thing. I'm not sure what's worse because if it says sale on it, you're attracted to it, and then you buy stuff maybe you don't need to. I don't know.
Probably I do that sometimes.
Okay.
I'm trying really hard this last year to not do that just because it's on sale, not buy it.
Yep.
I'm trying really hard to not buy things we don't.
But you're really good at taking advantage of loyalty programs and that type of thing. And, with it being a new year, and I would imagine most people think about their finances around the first of the year. I know I always do.
I would think so, especially having just come through Christmas when most people spend a lot more money than the rest of the year.
Right.
Everybody's thinking about it now. Plus, we all have our property tax bill coming and
lots of stuff like that.
Well, and,
winter heating bills.
Absolutely.
It's just more expensive to live right now.
And we have to pay our income tax shortly. Unless you're some of those people. But, my question to that is, what is this refund of which we speak? Because we never see that.
No. But when it comes to, there's a lot of things. I mean, for example, we all still have to eat. We still all have to heat our houses and have electricity and those type of things. So, and in the shopping space, there's just a lot of great apps and that type of thing that you can utilize to save money. So how do you, when you go shopping, when you're purposeful, when you're actually, I know there's the browsing thing too, right? But if you're purposeful about it, there are ways that you can really save a lot of money, isn't there?
Yes, there are. Probably my favorite one is the Ibotta app.
Okay.
I have that on my phone.
And spell that if you know.
Ibotta.
Ibotta. Okay.
Ibotta.
Okay.
I have it on my phone and on my iPad.
Okay.
And before I go to Walmart or Sam's or really any of the big stores, I look at my Ibotta app to see what kinds of deals they have this week. And they don't have per se a sale, but what they have is cash back on certain products.
Okay.
And sometimes you can get something for half price. Sometimes you get, a $10 item. Sometimes you get $2 back. Sometimes on a very small item, you get 10 cents back. So a lot of it doesn't look like it's great, but it adds up. And what happens is if you buy the products that they have those deals on, you get that amount of money put into an account on Ibotta. And then you can cash it out directly to your bank account when you feel like you've got enough there to make it worth cashing. Now, the problem with Ibotta is a lot of times, at least early on when I first started doing it, I would a lot of times buy products I'd never heard of just because they had a deal. It was buy it and get the full purchase price back, or buy it and get 50% back. So we tried a lot of products that I otherwise never would have tried. I've gotten smarter.
But isn't that kind of the purpose of it? I mean, if a company wants to get their product out there, they'll give you a deal on it to try it, right?
That's exactly their purpose. But I've gotten a little smarter about that. I really think harder about what I'm buying. And I'm not doing it just because I'm getting something back on it. The cool thing is, a lot of weeks when you shop, you get 10 cents back just for having a grocery receipt. Well, it's not much, but over time that adds up.
Sure. So tell me about, there was a time and maybe there still is, I don't know, about coupons and things. I mean, the newspaper used to be full of coupons, and I don't think that's such a thing anymore. But are there coupons yet? I mean, is there a way to get rebates and all of this stuff in today's digital world?
Rebates are, there used to be all those grocery rebates, but that's a lot of years ago, where if you bought a bottle of Heinz ketchup, there was a rebate offer out there. If you sent it in, you got a coupon for a free one, or you got the X number of dollars and cents back. I don't see those anywhere anymore. I really don't see mail-in rebates anywhere other than that one store that says they give you 11% off. But you always got it in the rebate form, and then you get it.
Well, there you go. But
you get it in a coupon that's on their store.
Right. But a lot of people who shop there, that makes a lot of sense.
It's great for them.
Yeah. So that works out pretty well.
Yes.
So they're very successful at doing their rebate type of thing.
Yes, they are.
So what about like coupons? I mean, are there coupons out there?
Very few are. Most of the time now, if you find a coupon, it's on a product at the store. Buy this product, use this coupon while you're.
So it's like right there, it's taped onto it, or there's a digital thing. Okay.
It's stuck on the 12-pack of Diet Coke or whatever it is you're buying. There will sometimes be a coupon stuck on there. But read them carefully, because while they're there, then the last one I saw was on a 12-pack of Diet Coke. But the very fine print said it didn't just work on the Diet Coke. You also had to buy some other thing.
I see.
For the coupon to work.
I see.
So read them carefully.
Yeah. So what about, do you feel then that like the Ibotta app and the loyalty programs, because like Walmart and Target, they have their own loyalty too, and you get some discounts there, right?
They do. I'm not real familiar with those.
Okay.
Because I'm a Walmart shopper. I rarely shop Target.
So I have a CVS card.
Right.
I pay $7 a month for this thing or whatever. So I'm paying for this, but then I get like $10 a month in free stuff.
Right.
And then they have all these 2-for-1 deals and whatever else if you're a member.
Right. And the receipt.
I love the receipt.
1.5 mile every time.
When I go and check out, they have the self-checkout there now, and they ask, do you want a printed receipt or a digital receipt? And I'm like, I want the printed one. I want to see the half a roll of paper come out of that thing. That is so hilarious to me when they do that.
But the back of that receipt always has more coupons on it.
They do. They're very, very good at that too.
And that's really where you find the most these days is on back of receipts.
Okay. So you're not finding them like in newspapers or anything like that anymore.
Not so much.
Okay. Yeah, that's really too bad. We'll get more into that after the break, everybody.
Super Talk. Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Tech Ranch. And I have none other than my lovely wife on the show with me today. And it isn't because Mr. Steve Bakken could make it, but, maybe it is. I don't know. But I think he's off doing some dog show thing or something over the holidays here. So
sounds like fun.
Yeah, I think his wife is also at some bowl game or something. So they're having a nice time over the holidays here, which is great. But it gives us a chance to talk about, because I think saving money is really at the top of everybody's mind right now. And where can you cut some expenses or earn some things or whatever? And we just got through the Ibotta app, which Alice uses a lot. Are there any other money saving apps that you use?
There are. I used to also use Checkout 51.
Okay.
But I wasn't as crazy about how that one works. With that one, when I come home from the store and have to scan the UPC codes or take pictures of the UPC codes off of all the products. And to me, that was just, I guess I'm too lazy for that.
I think one of the things with shopping, if you go to a place a lot, if you frequent the same grocery store, if you frequent the same gas station, and they have loyalty programs, you should probably take advantage of those because it's not, for the 3 or 5 minutes it takes to join the loyalty program, I'm going to guess that you're going to, save quite a bit, or at least a little bit. I mean, you're already going there, right? If you can save 5% or 10% or get a free car wash occasionally or whatever, I mean, those things add up pretty fast.
Absolutely, they do. Our kids have joined a loyalty program. Can't remember the name of it, but it's with a certain kind of gas stations.
Okay.
And they get X number of points for every gallon of gas that they fill at those stations. Well, it's not just one station, it's all of them with the same brand.
Like the Fuel Savers card or whatever it's called.
It's not that.
Yeah.
It's something different than that.
Okay.
But they get a certain number of points every time they fill gas. Well, they can cash those points in for gas or for anything inside that store. Any kind of inside sales. They can buy a case of beer. They could buy a 12-pack of soda. They can go in and get a coffee. They can buy candy bars, potato chips, whatever that store sells. They can use those points, buy those points.
Okay. Well, that's it.
Or they can use them for gas.
That's kind of a cool thing.
Yes, it is.
So I guess the other question that I have is when you're part of these loyalty programs or the Ibotta app or whatever, right? And you have a credit card or a debit card that gives you cash back, points or whatever. Are you able to use those in tandem? All right. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay. I use my Allegiant credit card because every dollar I spend, I get points. I use that card faithfully for everything I do. And I bank the points and then I can use those for us to travel cheaply or free. We took 2 trips last year. In June, we flew to Arizona, and in August, we flew to Vegas. Both of those trips, our airline tickets were free because I had on my Allegiant card.
So they add up a little bit.
They add up really quickly. And the other thing I do is every Monday morning, I pay off my credit card so I'm never paying interest on it. So I'm getting the benefits without paying extra to have them.
Right, right. So I think that's a good thing. I noticed on my American Express card too, because of end of year stuff, I was in there and looking at it and I didn't realize this, but they had like 100 different companies that offer like cash backs and things like that. If you use that card, like my American Express card, when I'm in those places and I'm going through there and I'm like, I eat here all the time. Why am I not, but I think a person has to be diligent and go in there because they're only like good for 3 months at a time, but you can get, $5 off a meal or $25 off on your next $100 purchase or whatever it is. These things are pretty significant, but you got to go in and click on them to take advantage of them.
Absolutely. Same way with that button.
Okay.
Click on the product.
So you have to kind of engage with it a little bit, but again, the savings can be significant if, for a couple minutes worth of time, it can be pretty good. Any other money saving tips that you have off the top of your head that might be interesting or even ways that you can make a couple extra bucks when you're doing these things?
Well, those are my favorite ways to save.
Okay.
Bank the points where you can, like you do with your American Express.
Yep.
We flew to London for almost no money left.
Yeah, that's true.
In September, because you had all those points in your American Express.
Right.
Those are the kinds of things.
But we do it because we like to travel.
Absolutely. That's why we use those cards.
But there are cash back options too. And I know like debit cards have those cash back options too. Like if you use your credit, use your debit card, when you're buying stuff, you get 1% back or 1.5% back. I mean, I think you have to shop those around a little bit.
I think so too, because I think they're all different.
They are all different.
And they all offer different amounts of cash back. So it's something.
Yeah. And of course, I don't know if a lot of people know this, and we only know this because we're in business, but when you use a debit card, where if you go into a store and you put a debit card in and it asks for your PIN number to do that, it charges the retailer a lot less money for that credit card transaction than it does for a regular basically a credit card, right? Because credit card fees can be up to 3% of the purchase. So it's very, very expensive for businesses
Yes.
to offer that service. Although I can tell you right now that the amount of cash we have in our till in our business is very, very small compared to what it used to be 5 or 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Because nobody uses it anymore.
Almost nobody pays.
Yeah. So it just become absorbed into the cost of your goods. The things that you buy, that Snicker bar costs 3% more or 5% more than it did a few years ago because everybody uses credit cards now. So, but as a result of that, it also, all these credit cards have points back to you, or not all of them, but many of them do to be
I
competitive.
think most of them do.
Yeah.
One way or another, you get something back on. I know, Discover has a point system.
They do. Yeah.
And, you can, when it gets to whatever you think is a worthwhile amount of cash, you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
get a gift certificate for your favorite store, restaurant.
And sometimes those gift certificate things too, they have deals on them. Like you can, spend $20 worth of points to get $25 worth of something at your favorite restaurant or whatever.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think it's worthwhile to take some time and learn your programs, because you can probably save 500 or 1,000 bucks or earn a trip to London like what we did last year. So you never know what you're going to be able to get.
Absolutely. Let's take
News Talk Bismarck Mandan. Super Talk 1270. Welcome back to Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back, everybody. My wife, Alice Anderson, in studio. You smile when I say that. I guess that's a good sign yet, isn't it?
That's a good sign.
At least you're not frowny when I say that. So we're talking about how to save money and using technology to do it. Because when you shop and things now, you don't have those coupons anymore that you used to get out of the paper. There aren't the rebate programs that there used to be. I don't know. When you're the grocery shopper, I guess, are there the kind of deals like they used to be with these type of programs?
Well, there are still deals out there. You just have to search for them a little bit more.
Okay.
You can't walk into the grocery store and expect that it's going to be front and center in front of you, blasting in your face.
Okay.
You need to work programs.
Sure. So during the break, you had stated that you had two others.
Yes, I do.
That you had thought of. So tell us about those.
The first one is called My Points.
Okay.
It's online, and every day you can do 5 things that take you a grand total between the 5. You probably need 12 seconds to do it.
Okay.
And you earn a point for each of those things. If you do 5 of them, you get a 5-point bonus. Now, 5 or 10 or 50 or 100 points on My Points are not worth much. However, if you're an eBay shopper, you get a point for every $1 you spend there. If you're a Walmart shopper, you get 3 points for every $1 you spend online with Walmart. So if you're going to be buying those things anyway, bank the points.
Gotcha.
And when point values get up there, you can use those points to buy gift cards to coffee shops, to all kinds of places. You can buy airline gift cards from My Points.
And again, you can use these in tandem with your credit cards.
Absolutely.
So you're getting double the points here.
Yep. Both sides of that.
Okay.
To save the money.
Gotcha. And then you had so My Points, and then what's the other one?
Well, the other one is Sam's Club.
Okay.
Buy your gift cards from Sam's Club.
I would imagine Costco is probably the same here.
Yes, they just have different ones.
Okay.
But I often get accused of booking a lot of Disney cruises.
Okay. That's true.
Yeah, So we pay for all our Disney cruises with gift cards.
Okay.
Disney gift cards that we buy at Sam's Club, because we get a discount on the gift card when we buy it. Then we use those discounted gift cards to pay for the cruise and for any onboard shopping things we wish to do. While we're on that cruise, we buy what they call a placeholder, that the next time we cruise, we give them that placeholder number and we get 10% off our cruise, and we use the discounted gift cards again.
Okay.
So we save a lot of money on those. It makes it very
And those places that have those gift cards, there's a lot of local gift cards there too, right?
There are. Probably my favorite local one to get is Pizza Ranch,
Okay.
because I get $50 in Pizza Ranch gift cards for $40.
Okay. So the local ones, you can actually save money there too. And again,
Absolutely.
you're using your credit card and getting points there too. So you're saving money and you're making some points on your thing.
Yes.
So yeah.
I'm getting the points on my credit card. I'm getting the discount on the gift card. So when we go to Pizza Ranch to eat, we already have that discount there.
So do they just honor the gift card regardless? I mean, if it's like, and I'm just going to pick on the Pizza Ranch. I always call it the Chicken Ranch for whatever reason.
Because we love chicken.
Yeah. Well, they probably don't want the Chicken Ranch notoriety.
Probably not, but we do love chicken.
But anyway, so, I mean, they have deals for like seniors, for example, right? So are you able to use your gift card for that deal at the place too? Or if they had like a $5 discount on Tuesdays, and I'm just making that up. I don't know that, but there's no blackouts or anything like that. You can straight up use
nothing of the sort. The gift card is just like cash.
Okay. So I guess kind of what I'm getting to here is that if you're needing to save a few dollars because of you went crazy at Christmas time and you want to go out for dinner at Pizza Ranch or whatever, look for the days when they might have a deal. When Johnny, what was it?
I think on Tuesdays, Pizza
Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So perfect, right?
Take your gift cards, take your kids, and go then.
Yeah, that's a great idea. What's the place we used to go to on Tuesdays that had the Italian place in Bismarck that's not there anymore? It was right by, why is it that we're not remembering this name of this place now? But they had the platters that you could share a platter.
Yes.
Yeah. I got Johnny something in my head. That's not right.
Carino's.
Johnny Carino's. There you go. Yeah.
That's right.
And same type of thing there. On Tuesdays, they have that unbelievable deal. Well, if you could get these discounted gift cards, the point I'm getting to is that there's lots of these. Lots of restaurants, lots of places have deals on a particular day because it's a little slower for them. So they want to bring more traffic in. So they drop a deal out there and use your discounted coupons that you got or debit or gift cards. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Well, a lot of Domino's pizza at work for lunch.
Yeah.
Simply because, first of all, if you order 2 or more medium 2-topping pizzas, you get them for $6.99 each.
Yep.
But I buy them with the discounted gift cards from Sam's Club.
Oh, there you go.
So we're getting more discount than that off of
it.
For $20, we can feed 6 people for lunch.
By the way, all of you businesses that we're mentioning out there, you can just start sending us. We'll take food. We are happy to get paid the food for the referrals.
We'll work for food all the time.
And I know everybody, there's a lot of people that listen to the program around the country. We're just picking on our local stuff here. But, if you live in Michigan or, wherever you're living at, you have the same type of opportunity. We're just sharing local stuff. So you understand that if you go to a place that sells gift cards, you have local businesses there that also have those gift cards in these places. So it's a great way to save.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And, maybe it doesn't seem like a lot up front, but again, those things all add up. And, it'd be interesting to see how much we save a year doing those things. Maybe keep track this year.
I have a quick list here of cashback apps before we run out of time here. So Ibotta was first on the list. Best for grocery rebates, Fetch Rewards, best for earning on any receipt, Shopkick, best for lowest cash out minimum of $2. Checkout 51, like you were talking about, best for redeeming offers up to 5 times. Swag Bucks, best for earning by completing surveys and tasks. Aisle, best for text-based cashback offers. And then Brand Club, best for syncing with popular retailers like Amazon, Target, Walmart, Kroger, Chewy, and more. So those are the other apps that are out there. And we're almost out of time already for this segment. We'll be back after the break, everybody.
Super Talk 1270. Talk of the town on Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back, everybody. We are talking about how to save money with your technology. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Alice Anderson is in studio with us today. And we've gone through a little bit about coupons and buying gift cards and the credit card rebates and cash back type of things. But there's other ways that you can save money too. And one of my favorites, I discovered this by accident at CES, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that.
4 years already.
We ended up doing an interview with them, and they were a very young company. And I was so impressed with this idea because nowadays, because you don't use cash a whole lot, Alice and I have always been savers of change.
Yes.
We have, we'd always throw our change into a jar. And we would always take those in occasionally to the bank or whatever. But as you know, we just don't use cash like we used to. And so the ability to save change has kind of disappeared because of that, right?
Yes, it has.
So Acorns has kind of come to the rescue with that. So what Acorns does is you sync your Acorns account. You sign up for an Acorns account. It's like a bank in a way. And a financial institution, I guess you could say. And then you sync your credit cards, debit cards, whatever you want to your account. And then it rounds up for you. So if you were to go out to dinner, go out to lunch, and it costs you $16.08, 92 cents of that would be, so it would round up to $17. Just like you take that 92 cents and throw it in the jar at home, it now rounds it up and takes that 92 cents and puts it into your savings account on Acorns. It's really, really clever. And then on top of that, after you get to a certain dollar amount, and it's not a lot, every $5, after you have $5 saved up, it pulls it out of your bank account is how it works. And then it invests it for you. So
incredible.
So on top of, the problem with having money sitting in the jar at home is it's not working for you. It just sits there and loses value, right? It looks pretty, right? But here in Acorns, you actually start to put some money in, you start making some money on this stuff. And I actually have to say that this has been very, very good thing for me because I buy a lot of coffee and things like that and these lower amount type of things. And I used to have a lot of change I throw in there. I didn't realize how significant this was until the Acorns thing. I mean, it's many thousands of dollars a year that I squirrel away. Clever with Acorns, right? Squirrel away. So I've been very, very impressed with Acorns, and I refer people to Acorns all the time. This is a great way to save money.
Absolutely.
And then if you want, you can have your there's other retirement vehicles that they have in there. If you want to put $100 a week or whatever into a savings account or a 401 or a Keogh or just to save, you can do that as well. So you can use it as your retirement account as well. And you can choose if you want low, medium, or high risk on these things or whatever you want to do. So it's pretty impressive. And again, check it out, Acorns, Acorns. And you have an Acorns account as well.
I do. And I have a certain amount coming out of my paycheck every week going into there, and I'm doing the rounding up. And it's kind of amazing how fast that account has grown.
Yeah.
Because, and it's painless.
That's the thing about Acorns. Yeah. That's the thing I like about Acorns is that, generally I would be throwing that change into a jar anyway. Right. So, I love it. I just really love it. There's other things too. Like there's Robinhood. I have not used Robinhood.
So
I've used Robinhood a little bit. I've bought some crypto with Robinhood. Not that I've done well.
Yeah, let's not talk about how that's gone.
Oh my goodness. And now as I looking back on it, I wish I would have hung on to it a little bit more. But like Doge, for example, I bought it. I think it was going to go up a few years ago. And of course it went the other way. And I finally just got rid of it.
Well,
and then of course
we're cutting your losses.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
they're all waiting.
Oh my goodness. I give up. If anybody wants advice on crypto, please come ask me and do the exact opposite that I tell you, because everything I have predicted with crypto has been wrong.
Yes.
Literally everything. I'm not usually wrong on a lot of stuff, but on crypto, I have not yet been able to figure that out. And I thought I was the cat's meow with it a couple of years ago because I wrote a little AI agent and I was letting that agent trade for me. And one morning I woke up and it was all gone. And I'm like, no.
We haven't saved a lot of people.
Oh my goodness, it's been tough.
But that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But there are things out there, right? So, there's all kinds, and I would imagine that I know we keep talking about acorns here, but there's probably other similar type of apps out there. We just are familiar with acorns.
Yes, I know there are others. I couldn't tell you their names because I've not bothered to dig into any of them.
Yeah. And we have
So happy with acorns that.
Yep. And I have a bank account with Bluevine for one of my companies, and that works really well if you have partners or whatever that are in different states or whatever, and you need to have that virtual type of bank account. And I think more and more local banks are getting to that now too, where you can do online banking and that type of thing. But there are options there as well, and they offer some great, time saving type of things and savings type of opportunities as well in those. So do some work, do some investigation. But both Alice and I are 100% check out acorns because this is a great little tool.
Definitely.
Yep.
And one day we're going to, well, maybe. I keep saying one day we'll retire, but I'm afraid it's soon on the day of my funeral.
Just make sure you follow her so that we know that you're not working. Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think another way that you can save some money, and I know we're going to run out of time in this part here before we have to take another break, but artificial intelligence can help you a lot here too.
It's a real time save. Lot.
Yep. And it's and I just asked ChatGPT, how can I use ChatGPT to save money? And it gave me a list of some things that you can use, and we can dive into this a little bit more after the break. But I think that thinking about artificial intelligence, and I think the first thing would be like if you're wanting to put together a budget. Not that I've ever done that, but if you want to do that, use an AI like a ChatGPT and put it in all your monthly expenses and the things you've used, that you've bought over the month or whatever. It will quickly put together a summary of what you spent your money on and help you towards that budget process. And we'll talk more about that after the break.
Talk of the Town, weekday mornings starting at 9 on Super Talk 1270 and the free Super Talk 1270 mobile app. Without apology, The Regular Joe Show with Joe Gigante. Weekday evenings at 9 on Super Talk 1270 and the free Super Talk 1270 mobile app.
Portions of the following program are pre-recorded.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back, everybody. Alice Anderson is in studio talking about how to save money. We've gone through a lot of different things already, everything from how to coupon in today's world, basically using loyalty programs and things like the Ibotta app to buy in discounted gift cards and all that good stuff. And then we got into saving money with apps like Acorns. So if you're just joining us, that's what we've been talking about. Now we're getting into artificial intelligence and how AI can help you. And I just pulled up ChatGPT just on the show here and asked it, how can I use ChatGPT to save money? And it came back with a list of things. And the very first thing on the list is budgeting and financial planning. So it says, create a budget, share your income and expenses, and ChatGPT will help create a personalized budget. And then track expenses. Get tips on categorizing and analyzing your spending to find areas where you can cut back. I think so too. And I think, I know I would be stunned at how much money I spend on coffee.
Yes.
And I probably just ignore it because that's one of my vices. I don't really drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any of those things. So coffee is my vice.
Pleasure.
Well, and I used to drink a lot of Diet Coke, and I don't drink that anymore.
Drink
so
a lot less of that.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got friends there.
That's right.
So I've made some friends. But the thing with, this is what I would do with ChatGPT or Gemini or any of the others, but those two are probably, or Siri now. Siri has also, if you have an Apple device and you have 18.2 on your phone, that's the operating system, 8.2, then you have Siri combined with ChatGPT. So you should be able to do these things on there too, but you could ask it, you can just talk to it. And I don't have my phone in here today. Usually I do, because we usually ask it questions, but you can tell it that you want to set up a budget, and I will, and then when it creates a window for that, and then every time you spend something, you can just tap on the screen in the ChatGPT app and just say, hey, I just spent $4.32 on coffee at Caribou Coffee. Right. Okay. And it'll record that. And then I spent, $48.12 at Family Fare for groceries or wherever you do your grocery shopping. Right. And and every time you pay a bill or buy something, you put it in there, and ChatGPT will actually then take and categorize those things for you because it knows that you're spending this on groceries. And you could even go so far as to put in there that you spent this much on orange juice and blah, 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 if you really want to get into it. And it will create a very detailed summary of what you're spending and probably give you suggestions on saying, hey, if you spent, instead of 2 days or 2 times a day to the coffee shop, get a Keurig. I mean, and this is the thing that'll do. You can actually look at that. And if you don't have a Keurig in your house, for example, you could justify buying the Keurig and the pods that cost $1 a piece or something.
No, nutty.
Okay. And probably get pretty good coffee that way too, and save yourself $3 or $4 a day. And then $3 a day times 365 days, that's $1,000 a year you've saved on that. So
yes.
And right now, I'm telling you right now, please go out and drink coffee at all the coffee shops in our area, because I like that they're around.
Yeah, we don't want them to go.
We want them to stay around.
Yes.
So, but if you need to save some money, this might be a way to do that. So ChatGPT would help you with that. Did you have questions?
No, but
okay.
When you talked about the price of the little coffee pods,
yeah,
there's another way to save money even there.
Okay.
And that's by the refillable pod. And you can put any kind of ground coffee into it. And then after you make your coffee, you dump it out, you clean out the pot, grounds, and refill for the next one.
So I could buy Folgers and drop it in?
Absolutely. You can put any kind of ground coffee.
I need to try that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Shopping and deals. So price comparison. Ask for strategies or tools to compare prices before making a purchase. And then also, this is ChatGPT telling me this. Coupon hunting. Get advice on finding discounts, promo codes, or cashback offers. So ChatGPT, as it's matured, has this ability to actually start helping to search the web as well.
That's awesome.
And you could probably say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a particular type of computer. You have your eye or a car or whatever, right? You could put the model in there, what you're going to get, and it will go out and find price comparisons for you. Yeah. Wow.
Yes,
sorry I brought that up. No. Well, you already have a fleet. Well, one worker, I wouldn't even notice it. You just hide them anyway.
What's one more?
Meal planning. Budget-friendly recipes. Request meal ideas that use inexpensive ingredients.
Yes.
So that's interesting, right?
And there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of recipes on. They're everywhere.
They are. And again, ChatGPT can help you with this. This one I really love. Reduce food waste. Share what's in your fridge, and ChatGPT can suggest recipes to use up those items.
Oh.
So it's gotten so good that you can open up ChatGPT, take a picture of what's in your fridge, and then ask it to give you some meal suggestions for dinner, and it will do that for you.
Pretty cool.
Now, what did we do over New Year's Day with ChatGPT
Yesterday.
on New Year's
What's
Day.
New Year's Day?
Yeah. On New Year's Day a few days ago. You don't remember?
I'm sorry.
What kind of things were we making with the blender?
Oh, yes. Okay. We made coconut milk and we made almond milk.
And where did the recipes come from?
You know,
That's correct.
although I hadn't asked.
Oh,
they-
yeah.
why I'm confused.
That's where I got the advice from on how to do those, because I've always been curious about how to make almond milk and coconut milk. I thought the process was way more difficult. Yeah, a lot of work. Yeah. But anyway, we did figure it out, and it actually turned out really good. I was surprised at how easy it was. It was a little, we didn't have all the proper tools that we needed to make the milk. We should have probably had
I should have bought these cloths,
yes.
but I didn't know we were going to do it right now. I was, but
We had a little strainer or whatever, but it still worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the milk is delicious.
Yes, it is.
And the only downside to it is you got to use it in 3 to 4 days
Yes.
because it spoils like regular milk
Yes.
on
Okay.
like the preservative stuff that
Right.
lasts for 2 months.
Well, that's okay. We've got enough left that when we're done here, we're
Okay, perfect.
leave it there. No,
Perfect. I love that. So
absolutely.
it was a little fun. And I think on the almond milk side, I haven't done the math yet, but I'm going to guess we could save money making our own at home. Coconut milk, I'm not really sure. We'd have to buy that in bulk,
Yes.
the coconut, to get a
Yes.
deal on that. But there you go. We experimented a little bit and found out how easy it was. And now I think we'll be making more almond milk at home.
And it was fun.
It was fun.
It was
Super Talk. Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270.
Hey, and we're talking about how you can save money using technology. Alice Anderson's in the studio. And we were just, if you didn't catch the early part of the show and you want to hear all of this, it will be as a podcast in a day or two. So just check out techranch.com or on your local station and they'll have it up there as well. So, Alice has given us a lot of great ways that you can save money. And then I just pulled up ChatGPT in the last segment and started going through. I just asked ChatGPT how I can use ChatGPT to save money. And it gave me a list of 10 things just with that really easy prompt. The first one was budgeting and financial planning. Second one was shopping at deals. And then we just got into meal planning, which is the third one. And there's a lot of ways here with meal planning that I'm guessing we could save money.
too, because no matter how careful you are, there's always that thing that gets to the back of the fridge and turns into a science experiment.
Right.
And
This way you can use it up a little quicker
Yes.
or whatever.
use
So
ChatGPT. Goodness.
yeah, I think it's a good idea actually to just, and maybe we'll just try it and see what it comes up with for us. We can say, hey, we got this hot dish in there. What can we do with this hot dish that we had 2 days ago to make it like it's new again?
Or it could be what to make it
Sure.
a hot dish or a soup or
Yeah.
whatever.
And my guess is that exactly how
Yeah,
it'll be.
I do a lot of that anyway.
Right.
But it can how to use up those last scraps of peppers and celery and things that sometimes, like I said, turn into a science experiment.
Right. So the other thing too, we'll go to number 4 here now. So subscriptions and bills. I guess there's a list of 10. So number 4 on the list is subscriptions and bills. Audit subscriptions. Use ChatGPT to help you list and evaluate your subscriptions to decide which ones to cancel. Now, Alice and I actually do this on an annual basis. We should probably do it like every 3 months because when I say I mean me. It's extremely bad at seeing something and like, oh, it's only $8 a month? Absolutely. And then I never use it again.
Right.
I use it the one time and then I forget about it. And then it takes to the end of the year, which is when I usually do this, to kind of audit the subscriptions that we have. You can use ChatGPT to list all of your subscriptions and help you decide which ones you should keep and which ones you should cancel.
That is fabulous.
Yeah.
Because, I can't imagine how many things people are paying for. They realize it.
Well, you think about this, right? And I'm just going to throw this out. $8.99 a month sounds like nothing,
Right.
right?
Right.
But that's $100 a year.
Yeah.
You know, and if you have 4 or 5 of those or 10, or you have one that's $39.99 a month and whatever, 40 times 12 is $500 a year. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I would give up in a subscription so I could travel one more time a year, for example.
Me too.
So that's kind of my motivation to this. For others, it might be, you know, Alice and I are in the agreement that when we die, if there's $1 left in the bank, we win.
Yes, absolutely.
So
because our kids absolutely
they can figure it. That's right.
Their own money.
That's right. They can figure it out.
When pregnant. Our kids tell us.
That's right. So, and life is is for a living, right? So you should, at least that's our attitude with it. So,
Yes.
So if you can figure out ways to save money and other things to afford you other things to do, and, you know, maybe saving a few dollars is the other thing. Just put it in the bank.
Well,
So you can go do these things later.
and it's about the experiences.
Yep.
It's way more about the experiences. And if we're saving money here, we can go do those.
So we'll get to that. In fact, number 5 is travel savings, by the way. Okay. So have ChatGPT or Gemini or whoever you're using for AI. And by the way, all these AIs are available on your phone. If you have a Google account, many people have a Yahoo or a Gmail account, right? I don't know why I said Yahoo there for a second. Yes. But a lot of people still have Yahoo accounts too. But Gmail is by far the most popular. If you have a Gmail account, you can get a Gemini account. It's just part of your thing.
Right.
By the way, just go to Gemini or get the app put on your phone. If you have an Apple device, you now have Siri with ChatGPT if you have the latest version of their operating system on your phone or device.
And Apple automatically upgrades your operating system when that comes.
Right.
You know,
if
if you plug your phone in at night, it upgrades.
If your phone is capable of handling the newest upgrade, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, you can just add the ChatGPT app to your phone as well. And there's a free version, and the free version will do everything we were just talking about, so you don't have to pay money for this. I do have a subscription. Of course I do, for it, but I would never give that up. That's one of the things I never give up because I save so much time, which of course is money to me as well.
Absolutely.
So I create all kinds of stuff because I have artificial intelligence helping me. So including what we're talking about right now. I mean, AI put this list together for us, so which is kind of cool. All right. So other thing on subscriptions and bills, you know, so audit your subscriptions. Go through all those $8.99, $39.99. I mean, are you still paying for cable? And have you switched over to, you know, cutting the cord and you know, you could audit that, have it audited for you and say, hey, this is the best way for you to go is streaming straight up or whatever, right? Travel save, or the other one on here is lower your bills. This is interesting to me. ChatGPT will give you tips on negotiating with service providers for lower rates.
I like that already.
So if you are a subscriber to a cable network, maybe like Sirius XM, any of these things, you can put in there what you're paying and it will help you negotiate with the provider. And there's actually an app out there. I wish I could remember the name of this app now that will help you with that. It'll help you negotiate lower rates as well. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this to potentially get those costs down a little bit for these things that you have already. Yeah, well, maybe not necessarily have to pay for, but most people would not be without cable or streaming services now for television, for example. So you might be able to figure out a way to get better deals on there, or it'll compare. Like if you're paying so much over here, you know, for example, we use AT&T for our cell phones. You know,
Yes.
I know that with our package, we probably have a couple of channels like a Showtime or whatever, HBO, whatever it would be, that we get with that. I have never checked into that, but we pay for it.
Yeah.
We, on the other side, we pay for HBO.
Right.
So what are we doing? We need to be taking advantage of these things ourselves. And these are great ways to save some money.
The talk of the town on Super Talk 1270.
And in studio, Alice Anderson. We're talking about how to save money using technology. We've gone through a lot of stuff. We won't review it all because you can go back and listen online if you like. Right now, we are talking about using artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to give you tips on saving money. And I just asked ChatGPT straight up, how can I use ChatGPT to save money? That's the question I asked it. And it came up with 10 ways that I could use ChatGPT to do that. And of course, you can do that with Gemini or any of the other artificial intelligences. And you can even prompt it with a better question if you like. But first 4, budgeting and financial planning, shopping and deals, meal planning, subscriptions and bills. Alice and I have gone through. What do you think's 5th on the list, Alice?
Wow.
Okay. I just want to.
I'm just not as smart as ChatGPT.
It's travel savings. All right. So ChatGPT can help you with cheap flights and accommodations. It can learn strategies for finding the best travel deals. So there's a couple of things that are out there. The one service that I go to is actually called Going, Going. And I know we were just looking at, Alice and I had the opportunity to go to London and Paris a couple months ago, which, by the way, we paid for with our points that we, credit card points, which was kind of nice. It was a great trip and we didn't pay a lot of money to fly over, which gave us more money to spend while we were there. But actually, we were kind of frugal on this trip.
Didn't spend.
No. Yeah, we had a great time. It was good. So you can use ChatGPT to help you do that, or you can use apps like Going, and I would highly recommend that. By the way, they have a free version and they have a pay for version. The pay for version actually gives you some really good deals. And we were just comparing because I got a pop-up because I've been wanting to go to Ireland for a while, and the pop-up showed that there were flights for like $650 round trip to Dublin, right? And that came because of Going. Normally, a couple $1,000s.
I don't understand why.
Well, we got other things to do, like go to CES here.
That's right.
We're off to CES here shortly. So you got that. And then also under the travel savings, DIY travel itineraries. Save on tour packages by planning your trips with ChatGPT. And what I would do there is I would just say, hey, if you're going to England or you're going to London, for example, you would just tell ChatGPT, what are the things you want to do? Do you want to go to the London Zoo? Do you want to go on a bus tour? What are the things you want to do? And it will help guide you and maybe even make recommendations. Hey, if you're going to the London Zoo, did you know that blah, blah, blah is right next door? Type of thing. So when you can combine stuff together so you don't have to hop on a train or take a taxi or an Uber or whatever to get around town, then realize later on that, you're going to be back by the zoo again. Those type of things can help save you money. So I would highly recommend using artificial intelligence for that. This is a good one. I love the number 6, DIY and repairs. So there's all kinds of things here. Do-it-yourself tips. Ask for guidance on simple home repairs or projects instead of hiring professionals.
Definitely. Great way to.
Yep. And so Gemini, so that's Google's platform. This is insane. And we're not going to talk about it this week, but in a week or two, we'll get to this. Gemini has just released the ability to have video on as you talk to it. And it recognizes things, right? So you can put, and this is very basic, but if you could say, hey, Gemini, how many fingers am I holding up? And it'll say, well, you are holding up 2 fingers. Well, what am I holding up now? Well, that's a can of Diet Coke. It has 0 calories and blah, blah, blah. Well, imagine, and I'm just giving you the basic stuff, but imagine now that you can have the video on and you have this person, let's say you're fixing your washer.
Okay.
It's 2:00 in the morning. The washer breaks down because you need clothes tomorrow. And you're like, oh my goodness, so you pull Gemini out, you turn the video on, the feature on, and it will guide you. It'll just say, take this screw off, take this part off. Now replace this with this, and it'll help you with that. This is what this is about. You need to paint something. You had a door, that got caught in the wind when somebody's opening it. It broke a little spot in your sheetrock. We've had this happen a few times in our main door downstairs. And instead of having a professional coming over and probably costing $300 or $400 or $500, I'm guessing that it's probably pretty easy to go get a little kit.
It is.
And fix it. And if you don't know how to do that, ChatGPT will talk you through it, or Gemini will talk you through it, right? So those are some cool ways that you can save a lot of money on that. So
anytime you have to call the professional, especially at 2:00 in the morning, the price goes way up.
And I know earlier we talked about, recipes, right?
Yes.
Using up the stuff that's in the fridge, or you and I a few days ago made coconut milk and almond milk. And again, I think the jury's out on if we save money or not with the coconut one, but on the almond one, I think we do. Okay.
Because I don't remember.
Right.
Had them in the freezers.
But it was fun to do and a little to experiment with, so you can do those things.
Tastes good.
It does taste great. DIY and repairs, also the other tip in there is upcycling ideas. Get creative ways to reuse items instead of buying new ones. So you might have a lot of stuff laying around the house. How do I make that painting, which I guess you and I have talked about a little bit too. There's a painting on our wall that we've had there for a few years. And I know you're kind of tired of this painting.
Tired of it as it has faded.
Okay.
And I just am not happy with the way it looks anymore.
So that's interesting. So, my guess would be that we could turn on Gemini, have it look at it, and explain to it that it has faded over the years. Is there something we can do to restore this painting back to its original state? And it'll probably give us some ideas on how we can do that. So, yeah. I'm just using that as examples, everybody. So instead of going out and spending another $500 or $1,000 or whatever on a nice piece to put on the wall, or $5,000 or whatever it is that you are wanting, or whatever it cost to do that before, you might be able to fix it for $8.
Wow.
So
incredible.
These are the things that you can do with artificial intelligence that I think you have to be thinking about, and you have these tools in your phone or on your computer right now for free. Yeah. So you should be utilizing these things.
Yeah.
Especially, and this is the way I always look at this, by the way. If you and I pay a couple $100 a month for our phones, we probably could save some money there too. And we're looking at doing that, by the way. But you have to think about the money that those phones save you.
Right.
And so it's not so much, sometimes if it costs you $200, but it saves you $600 or $700 or $800 a month because you have them, that's a pretty good investment.
Yes, it is.
The amount of gas that I don't burn because I'm looking for an address, for example.
For sure, because you use that
all the time
with your phone.
All the time.
Anytime we're going somewhere.
Yep. Number 7 on the list is energy savings. And
1270. Welcome back to Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270.
And Alice Anderson in studio. We're talking about how you can save money. And I asked ChatGPT how we can save money, and it came up with this list of 10. We are on number 7 right now. And we're just going to get into it because I know if we don't, if we keep reviewing what we've done in the past, we're going to run out of time today on this. Number 7 is energy savings. Yeah. So one of the things it talks about, reduce utility bills, learn energy efficient practices to lower electricity and water usage. And probably, in our neck of the woods, heating is a thing as well. What can you do in your house? And my guess is that if you, again, I know we were just talking about Gemini, and if you're just joining us, everybody, so Gemini, which is an artificial intelligence by Google, has just released this most incredible thing. And, we've been talking, maybe you haven't done this yet, but if you haven't done this, I would highly recommend it. You can talk to artificial intelligence now. And I do it all the time when I'm cruising down the road, especially on road trips. If I'm by myself, I talk to ChatGPT all the time, and we brainstorm and think about things. And the cool thing is that it's recorded all in text later on, so I can review it. And I just love that feature. So Gemini now has released a video version of that. So it truly is. So it turns your camera on your phone or on your desktop, and it actually recognizes what's in front of the camera. You can tell it it's you, and from that point forward, it knows that it's, Marlo Anderson or Alice Anderson or whoever you are. and then you put up like a Diet Coke and it recognizes the Diet Coke. And I will get into all this stuff, but imagine taking that tool and then saying, hey, Gemini, I want to save some money on energy. So let's take a tour of our house and then just walk through the house, show Gemini, the artificial intelligence, what your house looks like. And then it'll probably ask you some questions like, do you use this room very often? Well, no, I only use it when I have guests because it's a guest room. Maybe you should turn the heat off and close the door. I'm just using I don't know if that's true. And then maybe you can make the argument, well, that's not a good idea because my water pipes would freeze over here or whatever. But it would probably help you with that. And of course, the other thing is if you don't have a new thermostat that has AI built into it, you should go spend the $200
and get one because that does make a huge difference in your heating.
I've heard that it depends on the weather, of course, but anywhere from 3 months to a year to get your money back. Huh? So $200 for the new thermostat because it learns about you.
Yes.
So what happens is it knows then, like if you leave the house to go to work at 7:45, it senses that all the lights are turned off in the house, whatever. And or you can just talk to it and say, hey, I leave at 7:45 or tell it to turn the heat down to, 62 during the day or whatever. And it'll make these adjustments for you. So that's where it can really save you some money. Let's see. 7 seasonal tips. Get advice on staying cool in summer or warm in winter without high energy costs. So it can help you with that. One of the things like in the winter, I was going to bring this up to you today, as a matter of fact, about, turning the lights on and off. For example, we have a couple areas in our building that are tough to keep warm. And it really, I don't know if it matters a whole lot if you turn the lights off in those areas in the wintertime, because lights create heat. And it might actually help keep that part of the building warm by a degree or two by just having the lights on. I don't think we'd notice any big difference, but it'll be something to investigate. And artificial intelligence could help us with that. This is the cost per kilowatt hour that we're spending. This is a cost that we spend on propane or on natural gas. Thank you. To heat our place, and it could tell you, hey, just leave the lights on. You'll probably get a couple more degrees out of that and not run your furnace so much, type of thing.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We need to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Well, no.
Well, it's just habit, right? We grew up that way.
My dad taught me that money doesn't grow up.
Right.
So it's all grow.
Right. Exactly. 8, investment and savings advice. If you have a savings goal, you can set and track saving goals with ChatGPT. You can say, hey, I want to save $5,000 this year, and it'll look at your budget and go, okay, this is what you do with the money you have. If you want to save $5,000 more this year, maybe not drink 2 cups of coffee a day, type of thing. It'll help you with that. Also basic investment tips. Learn about low cost investment options like index funds. It'll help you. It'll teach you, or at least give you advice on how those things work. And this is the other thing. And this isn't even on the list, but one of the things that I do all the time, as you know, I know I'm talking too much in the segment now.
That's okay.
But I run all of our agreements through ChatGPT now.
Yes.
I tell it you're our attorney,
yes.
And it comes back and it'll say, well, I'm not an attorney, but I can review whatever you want and give you advice, or give you advice that's not legal advice, but I can give you advice on the contract. And I say, well, you're our attorney. You're representing us when we're buying this car. And I will put the documents in ChatGPT, and it'll come back and say, well, I wouldn't do this if I were type of thing. And you're like, oh my goodness, I would have never caught that, right?
Exactly.
Because who wants to read 28 pages of documents?
And who understands?
Right.
28
exactly.
pages of documents. If you're not an attorney, don't understand.
Yes. So that, one of the best things I could give you for advice is that you have in your pocket, in your purse, this advisor with you at any given time now. You have this artificial intelligence, whether you're using Gemini, ChatGPT, and it can help you with these decisions. If you're buying a home or renting a place, just take a snapshot of the agreement and have it review it for you real quick. It's almost like, you can take a snapshot, and while you're there with the person that you're talking to that you're going to sign with, you can have a discussion instead of saying, hey, I need to run this to my attorney first or whatever. If there's nothing to worry about in the document, ChatGPT will probably tell you that. It's truly incredible. 8 on I guess we've gone through savings and basic investment tips. 9 is learning and skill development. So there are free resources. Discover free or low-cost learning platforms to gain skills instead of paying for courses. ChatGPT and Gemini, they're all the same way. They speak many, many languages. And ChatGPT, for example, I could prompt it to say, hey, I want to learn French. I want to learn 5 new words a day in French. And it would actually design a course and work with me to do that. I wouldn't have to pay for that course anymore, which is incredible as well.
Yes, it is.
So
We'll be.
that is true, right? Exactly.
Talk of the Town, weekday mornings starting at 9 on Super Talk 1270 and the free Super Talk 1270 mobile app.